I think it's quite clear that this attack caught Israel by surprise. Obviously, there is no way that such terrible consequences would have occurred if Israeli forces, intelligence were at the kind of readiness that we know and expect. I think it is inevitable that there will be very strong retribution within the Gaza Strip, and I think it will be of a magnitude what we certainly have not seen before. This kind of attack cannot and will not go unanswered. And when I mean unanswered, I don't mean the usual stuff. I don't mean another round of what we've seen before. I mean, this will be obviously qualitatively different.
Thank you very much for speaking with ANI. First of all, Israel is facing the biggest attack in decades. The Israeli Prime Minister has declared that we are at war. First of all, what is your assessment behind this? And did Israel see it coming?
I think it's quite clear that this attack caught Israel by surprise, unfortunately. Obviously, there is no way that such terrible consequences would have occurred if Israeli forces, intelligence were at the kind of readiness that we know and expect. That was what occurred. That was how it happened. And currently we are in a state of war. We're still in the fog of war. We don't know everything we need to know, but we really are just at the beginning of this campaign.
Right. Ma'am, what can we expect in terms of retaliation? Because we have seen some strong statements coming from the Prime Minister Netanyahu and the Defense Minister.
Well, I think there's a sequence of challenges and tasks at hand, beginning with still getting all the areas down south where there were terrorist infiltrations completely cleared. To be completely clear, it will take a while. The forces are walking truly house by house and corner by corner, making sure terrorists aren't hiding anywhere, making sure there still aren't pockets. So we have the immediate task of still finalizing the immediate situation down south. We have the larger tasks of making sure that all other arenas that we face, and Israel faces various arenas, stay calm, including the internal arena, where in the past we've seen some infighting in mixed Arab-Israeli towns. And so we are most definitely, we have had skirmishes overnight with Hezbollah up north, which I think is probably the main concern as far as getting Hezbollah possibly involved. So we basically are going to have to see what happens in all of these different arenas. But I think it is inevitable that there will be very strong retribution within the Gaza Strip. And I think it will be of a magnitude what we certainly have not seen before.
Right. Israel has this extensive intelligence, the best surveillance system that we know, but Mossad or the Israeli forces did not anticipated such massive thing. What, according to you, could be the reason behind this miss that led to such severe situation?
You know, we're trying not to get into analysis of exactly how and what went wrong at this time. We don't have all the information. And with people in such a bad state and needing stabilizing all over, families from all over the country have been hugely affected by this. We have a number of wounded, dead, and hostages that we are unused to, we haven't seen before. I don't think it is yet time to analyze exactly what happened that, although I'm sure that is going on as well. But I will say, I think everybody from the public to anybody in the security establishment is searching for answers about this. And certainly we will not rest until we understand what exactly transpired, because the security of the citizens of the state has been severely impaired.
Ma'am, what about the peace in the West Asian nations, since we have seen some big changes like the Abraham Accords? So do you think this that the entire West Asian nations will witness the fallout of this?
Well, we'll have to see what the responses are. I think to the extent that nations involved in this understand that this kind of attack cannot and will not go unanswered. And when I mean unanswered, I don't mean the usual stuff. I don't mean another round of what we've seen before. I mean, this will be obviously qualitatively different. And that's just going to have to happen. So sometimes it's hard to tell if some of the nations involved in all of this are able to sustain their commitments even under those kind of circumstances. So certainly this is a test. We'll have to see what happened. There are certain things that are going on that to begin with perhaps weren't as stable as we thought. So for example, there's a lot to talk about a new accord with Saudi, which I think under the best of circumstances probably had a 50% chance of passing because of all the obstacles involved. And now we are not under the best of circumstances. So things seem to be, at the very least, delayed. My hope, of course, is that we can withstand this and move on. But a lot still has to come to pass before we know what the answer to that is.